Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, did Michael shoot Drew on General Hospital? Now, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Most likely he didn't, but his ass was sure cooked today. And I loved every single minute of it. Okay? My girl Alexis Davis was cooking. We're going to cook tonight. Now, you know how we do. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Let's get roll call. Let's get this started. Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Amy H is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Kai Wan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Black Ma, aka Mr. GQ, is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Krista is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Allison is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And a lot to talk about, people. And a lot to talk about. King is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Valerie's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Of course, Queen. Autumn says Michael didn't shoot Drew. I think it's a red herring. I think Michael knows and saw who did it. I'm doing good, Allison. It was a day. I have a little bit more. And of course, this isn't done yet, so that's fun. Jairus is in the chat. Alexis didn't cook when the real killer is going to kill her. Yo, listen. My girl was cooking, okay? Willow is the one that shot Drew. Oh, yeah, of course, because people don't like Willow, so clearly Willow's the one that did it. I should tell you, the truth, I'm just going to sit there and say this right off rip. I respect everyone's opinion. What's good, LaShawn? I respect everyone's opinion. I really do. I'm a very black man, you know. I had a day, but it's over, and I'm off tomorrow, so that's the upside. And I'm here with y'all, so it even out. Yep, and this shit isn't done. But yes, we're just, yay, Theo's awake. That means absolutely nothing to me. Susan R is in the chat. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Oh, okay, all right, that's what's up. Autumn's birthday is tomorrow. Make sure that me sideways. Make sure I give you a shout out tomorrow for your birthday. Definitely do that. Goddamn pop up ad. It's good to have you, Susan. It's good to have you. Hey, where's my music at? But I was like, listen, I normally I stream tomorrow, but I was like, tonight. Let's do it tonight because we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the fact that Jacinda had one job. She had one job. Her job was to fucking lie. And then she went on the stand and she told the fucking truth. Oh my goodness. Did y'all not see the look of disappointment on Michael's face? They're happening. Damn, it's been a hot minute since I've seen you. How have you been? We're talking about Days of Our Lives as well, because I got a lot to talk about on that subject as well. Of course, it's not fucking done yet. Damn, even my fucking thing is hot. Dimitri coming back. Javi just up and leaving as though like Lear already dumped him. I'm like, bro, can you just like give him a goddamn minute? Like, he has literally got like a shock that everything he was told about Dimitri is a lie. Give him a goddamn minute, but don't sit there and try to, walk off as though like it's all over. Like Queen of the South and Newman men are idiots. You know, it's. I'm so glad that you brought that up, Victor. Why the hell did you let your son drive Matt Clark to God knows where by himself with no security whatsoever, as though nothing could possibly go wrong? The guy who always thinks, always says that he is like 3 steps ahead of everyone. Families worry. Victoria and Nikki's like, yo, why would you do that for? Hey, I got it. It's all under control. It's all under control. Hey, I'm handling it. Then he gets that quote like, son, are you okay? I'm like, Victor fucking Newman, you are a damn idiot. See, this is, I mean, listen, it's bad storytelling, but it's like, why? Why? Just why? Why? Good to see you, Davlin. Autumn says, whenever Taylor gets done to her by Sheila, it's her fault. I can guarantee you, Sheila, she's going to try to take Taylor out since Deacon and Taylor are about to cross doctor and patient lines. And inappropriate in all the best way. It's inappropriate in all the best way. Um, yeah. God damn, I didn't have any of this. All right. I guess I'm just gonna be fucking drunk tonight until this shit cools down. It's not much in here, but oh wow, wow, it's more than I thought. You know, Charlotte just can't keep her goddamn mouth shut, can she? Got the spice news. I see what we're drinking tonight. Yep, that is right. You know, the my favorite wine in the whole wide world right now, Moscato. I wish I had the spicy noodles, but they didn't have it though. Jane says it says Willow shot Drew. Michael didn't shoot Drew. Oh, where did it say that? Oh my god, I love it. It's like she. I mean, here's the thing. She told Dan. No, she told Rocco. And she put Rocco in a tough position. Then she told Danny. Put Danny in the tough position. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I gotta sit there and take a drink. Hold on. Okay? Of course she did, LaShawn. And those two dumbasses decided to invite her to the wedding. Um, Chase was right. Chase, Harrison fucking Chase was right. For everybody that was like, oh my God, you're such a terrible person. I can't believe you did that. Chase, you're a bad and terrible person. You went against the PCPD and you went against Brooklyn and you're helping Willow, but he was fucking right. Dante admitted today that he wanted to return a debt that he felt like he owed to Michael for the 2009 incident. Exactly what Chase said. What everyone was not there, Bash and Chase left and fucking right. What's good, Tiffany? Bash and Chase left and right, and now he had to sit there and eat fucking crow. And oh my goodness, I was here for it. Tiffany said, Josh Griffin always writing stupid shit. It's time for him to go. I mean yeah, that Michael shot you. I think we're going to see. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think that Michael shot Drew. Um, but his ass is looking pretty damn roasted now. After Alexis wound up slaying his ass, if he wants to keep his job. No, he definitely did take a. He definitely did. He definitely does. But the point was is that he was right, and Dante admitted today. And Dante wants to still stand by the whole. Well, I still felt like what I did was right. Yeah. And now you realizing that Chase is right, right? It's like a man ego or something like that for you, bro. You can't just sit there. You need to hire him back. You need to hire him back, and you need to sit there and maybe probably fire Nathan, who clearly forgot how the chain of evidence actually works. You fired Chase, and he was right, but you kept Nathan, who is just making rookie mistakes. Yeah, okay, let that make sense. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. King says, "I'll be by Friday. The chat will take a different tone, so Drew better not smile so much." Yo, King, I was at that time. Drew was like, "Bro, stop talking. First of all, you need to stop." I was like, "You need to stop backseat driving Alexis, because you know how many times Alexis wants to turn around and tell Drew to shut the fuck up." Um, yeah, that's the thing. I feel like people want my. I feel like people want Willow to be the shooter. You know, they want her to go to jail. They want her to be punished because they don't like her because of things that she's done. But see, that's my whole thing, though. Like, just because you don't like a character doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong. Aiden said Drew's going to screw it up for Willow like always. I believe you, Aiden. At the O3. I don't know that to happen. Oh, Tiffany is a scene with Aiden. Anita and Sharon kind of fell out of place. I mean, it was poorly done, but that was just my opinion. And here's the thing, Tiffany. What annoyed me about the whole, and I think it was Tracy. It wasn't Sharon. It was Tracy. Um, oh, she's definitely playing with Drew. Tracy irked me today because she kept saying they're trying to psychoanalyze Anita and trying to like kind of bring down her spirits in a sense. She's talking about how she wants to have some good. She's talking about she wants to have some good food and this, that, and the third. It's like, well, you're going to be fighting for your battle of your life, and you're going to be tired at times, and you're going to be nauseous at times. I'm like, thank you, Tracy. Thank you for being a fucking buzzkill. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she irritated the fuck out of me. What's good, Key Mama? Um, King says, "Do you hear how Brooke and Riz?" Oh, hell yeah, King. They would try. Yo, let me tell you something. They trashed that chick Katie as though they never had respect for her ever. Brooke is a POS, and Ridge. The fact that they sat there and had a whole meeting and did nothing but trash talk Katie, and Brooke, as her sister, just stood there and just went along with the group. Hell, the only person that was not there kind of sticking up for her a little bit was fucking Carter. Yo, I sat there was like, yo, I didn't lose respect for every single one of those fucking people in that room except for Carter. Reg has always been a piece of shit, so I'm not really too surprised. But like, it's so bad. I swear, I feel like. Oh, by the way, hit the like button and also become a member. We doing some fun stuff on the weekends, especially this weekend and this Sunday. So if you're not a member, make sure you join. Um, yeah, hit that like button though. I don't know where we are with the likes, but we got 35 people. Oh, Okay, so we got 17 likes so far. So hit that like button. Um, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, there's my music. There we go. Yeah, Willow actually hates Drew, but is using him to get back his kids. And then it's gonna play out like a damn life. Is no, then it's gonna play out like a '90s Lifetime movie. Yeah, Jane. Like it. Again, I was baffled. I was baffled just how like damn, Reg, you really did not have any respect for her. So of course, that's just giving Katie motivation. It's just giving Katie, and then the whole Carter and oh, what's her name? What's that chick's name? Carter and not Paris. Carter and Daphne, right? I don't know if Carter misses window like she said because of Christmas and nothing happened, or she still seems to think about the time that she bared her soul, and he was like, "Hey, listen, thank you, Monique." Um, and she's like, "Oh well, I bared my soul to you, and I told you I loved you, but you rejected me." Yeah, because he was with somebody at the time. Like, what part of that don't you understand? I don't know. But I'm not gonna lie. There was one point she was like, I just like to be chased. I was like, okay, girl, you're gonna be running forever at that point. Ain't no man worth his salt gonna be sitting there chasing your dumb ass. Talk about I like to be chased. I was like, okay, good luck with that. I guess you eventually you'll find some sucker to sit there and chase you, but I know real man worth his salt. But they're gonna do this whole thing where he's gonna confess his undying love and to really prove that he deserves to be with her. Yavetta says, I think Michael should stay away from Jacinda for lying after he specifically asked. That's true too. That's true too. When he found out that she was with Boyles, when she literally said I was with nobody else, I was like, girl, you should have took the money and ran. Yo, let's hope that Christine gets a refund. Guys don't like to chase it. No, we don't. When she said that, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of laughed. I was like, "Well, that's cute. This this chick said that shit with a straight face." Okay, all right, baby girl. Good luck with that. You're gonna be want to be chasing to your goddamn 50s. Um, I was not there saying. I was saying something before, but yeah, that chick lost her damn mind. Um, I mean, this week it seems that Deacon and Taylor are about to sit there and cross the line. Everyone predicted that Katie was going to recruit Deke to work for her, right? Monique says, I wonder if Sitwell told Boyles to say Jacinda was with him the night Drew got shot, because it's something Sitwell would do. Yeah, but the thing is, though, Jacinda agreed, she confirmed it. What's good, Danny Bear? Let's everyone say what's up to Danny Bear 87. Um, I know it's called Miss Soap Obsessed, but I'm not calling you that. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Whoa, okay, we got two creators up in the chat. Rantham Ricardo's in the chat. I saw you earlier today. I was on a bus and I was in there. I didn't get a chance to like chat or whatever, but Alexis is a fucking G. But seriously, let's everyone sit there and say what's up to Rantham Ricardo. Listen, people sleep on Alexis because they're constantly always gassing up Diane like she's the best thing on sliced fucking bread. But I'm like, yo, Alexis can go toe to toe with Diane. Okay, Alexis and Danny Biz says what's well. Miss Sopa says what's up to ranting, but like I said, my girl Alexis was on fire today, and I am here for it. She was Danny Bear. People sleep on Alexis. Like, yo, why do you think Sonny was not there paying her so much money and constantly begging her to rep him? Ranta says Alexis is doing well, doing all this only to not get visitations with Scout because oh boy won't allow it. I mean that's where the stupidity comes in because like she's an amazing lawyer, then she forgets that she can also sue to get visitation rights, which is hilarious. Because see, here's my whole thing. This is where Alexis fucks up, right? Not in the courtroom, but like you get Willow acquitted. What makes you think that Drew's not going to make her jump through more hoops to see Scout? Okay, cool. I'm glad you did that, but I need you to do this in order for you to sit there and see Scout. Or I need to do that in order for you to sit there and see Scout. He's going to keep doing that because that's the kind of person he is. And for such a smart, exact facts, facts. Stop acting like a dummy. Like, stop being a dummy, girl. Shit. That's exactly what they're saying. Spiderquake. Let's see on Tuesday. All we need is Kyrie to stop being a part timer like Kevin Collins, barely there. Yeah, he be busy at times, but when you get a chance, he'll come through. You know how Kyrie says. He'll come through with the thunder. Oh shit. Wow. Trina and Kai, the most dumbest motherfuckers ever. I now like Josh more than Trina. Make it make sense. Rage Reviews also subscribe to his channel. Now I feel very special. I have like creators of my channel taking time out. I'm not gonna lie, that always kind of like, you know, makes me very happy. Because he got a channel as well. So if you're not subscribed to him, definitely subscribe to him. What's up? It's good to see you. Yeah, thank you for coming through. 1 second, Spider. I'll be right with you. Yeah, man. I hope Michael wins, but I hate how people are bashing Willow and Alexis. Like Alexis, facts. That's what I've been Smith there saying, Spider. Alexis has no grounds to sue Drew for custody. Yeah, she does. Rancher says, but who's to say? But who? But who to say he won't tell her, Christina Molly, to cut all ties with Danny, Rick, and Sonny? Yep. That's exactly what Smith is saying. He's going to sit there and keep pushing the fucking goalposts. Exactly, he's going to keep doing that shit. I'm getting caught up on it, so I don't blame people for thinking he's. I don't know if you watched my review. I said the same thing. I was like, bro, I was like, you lied and you got caught. Okay, you lied and you got caught. So like, your ass lied and you got caught. And just then it was like, you know what? Maybe Michael's not worth perjuring myself and going to jail. You will find a way to play Alexis if she took him to court. Here's the thing. I'd rather her fight and lose than her to sit there and just give up. That's my whole thing with Javi and Leo when they decide not to try to go for adoption. I didn't feel bad for them when they lost little T because I was like, you never sat there and tried. The GH makes Nina takes Michael and Willow to court. Exactly, King. Exactly what I'm sitting there saying. Oh, it's Amber's birthday? Oh, it's tomorrow. So you and somebody else. Uh, uh, in Autumn. You and Autumn both got birthdays tomorrow. Okay. So that's what's up. Rancher says Michael didn't do it, but he knows who did, and I think Jill's going to tell them who ringtone is Twinkle Twinkle. Twinkle Twinkle. Spikewick says the problem is the fans they bash people because they love Michael. Like me, I like Michael. I want him to have his kids, but Michael got himself into this position. Rather he popped your leg. Yes, I 100% agree with that, Spiderquake. Devin says I hope Drew is not Scout. I hope the power is that he makes Jason her father. I don't know. Jason seems like he's been an absentee father for like most of his kids, most of his life. Like, I mean, he might be a step up from Drew, but not by that much. If we gonna be real, we gonna be real. I don't believe Michael knew who shot Drew anymore. Well, I think the thing is you're gonna I think it's all gonna come to an end. Like this week. I think it's all gonna come to an end this week. So, is it wrong that I want Brooklyn to divorce Chase? Why do you want Brooklyn to divorce Chase? It's not wrong, it's your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. He lied about his whereabouts, and lastly, he was at Liz's house where the pew pew were planted. Even if he didn't do yet, no, exactly, Spikeway. It looks bad, right? And the fact that he lied definitely didn't help. This is why. This is why Curtis is like, you know what? Listen, just because I don't have an alibi doesn't mean I did it. Now, Curtis needs to slow his roll in the sense of trying to petition, and then anybody else says up, in trying to petition to get a paternity test. And Portia's not there saying that I don't want to do it because I don't. Oh, you think so too? Okay, that's interesting. Um, yeah, that's true, Tiffany. Leslie is annoying. And Leslie's annoying. Vanessa's annoying. Francis says because he's so obsessed with trying to save Willow, like you can do your job without doing the absolute most. He's a loyal friend, though. Okay, what's good, Ron? It's all good. Monique says Noah just proved he's just like his dad, thinking with his lower brain when he should be using the other brain. Yeah. Um, Noah's an idiot. I like Nick, but that was some fucking buffoon shit right there. And Victor, the guy who invents playbooks pretty much, who plays chess while everyone else plays checkers, decided to just let his son just go off with a psychopathic murderer like Matt Clark by himself because nothing could possibly go wrong. I laughed my ass off. I mean, by the way, let's be honest. Matt Clark is pretty much just Todd 2.0 at this point. He is an older Todd. He is what Todd would actually be if One Life to Live was still on. Wow. Okay, so you have three people so far: the Havlin, Danny Bear, and Ranting. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Then he says Nick is an idiot. He shouldn't have been along with Matt. Listen. I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off. Monique says, and I agree. Monique says Adam said he would go. Even make Victoria was like you said. Nick to facts. 1 second, Ron. Ranta says not being a loyal friend, he was defending her dad's deeds when she cheated with Drew and got caught. He consistently been Team Willow and wants Michael to go to jail. Hey, listen, if your shoe fits. Okay, all right, I respect that. I didn't care, Ron. I didn't give two flying fucks. Quick says all those points I said is why I hate how these GH fans act like they bash Sonny, Chase, Willow, Alexis for not believing Michael when he hasn't given anyone a reason for people to believe him. And I 100% agree, Spider Quake. Now you know if you know who is here, um, he would be so pissy, be so mad. I, and that's the thing, Monique. That's what annoyed me when Victor was sitting there just like, oh, listen, calm down, y'all. I know what I'm doing. Like everything is under control. He literally sat there and said that to his wife and his daughter that everything is under control until he gets a call and he's all worried. I was like, what happened, Victor? You said that everything was under control. What are you talking about? You just said that everything was under control. All right, your son looked like he's laying in a ditch. Don't seem like shit is under control. He's he was defending her bad deeds when she cheated with Drew and got caught. Hmm, okay. I don't like Victor. Victor acts hateful to that happens. He is a dick, Jane. Even my dad. Well, my dad likes Jack. He doesn't like Victor either. And he's actually been getting into the Young and the Restless. Also, he acts like he doesn't understand why Michael doesn't want the kids around Willow when she's so caught up in Drew. Like Drew has terrorized Wiley to the point that the child is scared of him. Hmm. All right, I get that part. Anyone days, I skip Stephanie and Alex, Holly and Tate, Jack and Jennifer and Julie. I haven't seen those people in months. Bro, just quick. What did you watch? Like one third of the episode? Bro, you just sat there and was good, Portia. Oh, we got a new person in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Portia. Bro, you skipped like one third of the episode. I mean, you skipped like 75% of the episode. What did you watch? And what's good, Tracy Steves? Taco Tuesdays. Oh, that's cute. I get it. You see, that's the thing, Tracy. Because see, Tracy knows why I always sit there and say that. No, I don't believe that Michael shot Drew. Okay, that's cool. I don't think he did it either. I don't think Michael shot Drew. I just think that he's been playing this all wrong. But Alexis was I was fucking here for Alexis. Laura has been told multiple times about the things that Drew has done and said to Wiley and still doesn't care that her child is scared. It's about her and her selfish needs. It's not like Michael's actually father of the year, so it's not I was just in there. I was just in there. Someone talking about you. Where's Diane Miller? Where's Diane Miller? I mean, you got Alexis cooking, so I think it's realistic. I think she doesn't want to sit there and look over her shoulders. I understand that in a lot of sense. No, Spike. I mean, no, J fan. I was just not there talking about you because I know um the whole trial and everything like that. So you know how. Plus, I was talking some stuff about Michael. So and I know how you usually get. Is that she ain't needed? You got what you go out there. You got Alexis there. So no, but I think it's realistic though. You know, she doesn't want to sit there and look over her shoulders and constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I get it in a sense with Kat. I do. Um yeah, I get it. That's good. That's good. What's good, Darby? But you know, again, I want to sit there and say this shit again. You know what? Cherry ice cream. What's good, cherry ice cream? Exactly, ranting. Exactly. Oh, no, I wasn't even, honestly, to tell you the truth, friend, I'm past that. I'm talking about Chase. No, Ron, I don't. And it doesn't matter because he's not done. He's not done. So it doesn't matter. It was good, Darby. But I want to talk about Chase stuff. Okay. I want to talk about Chase because Dante actually had to sit there and admit that Chase was right. That Dante wanted to repay a debt that he owed to Michael. You're not okay. Oh, Moscato, Tracy. Mos- Moscato. Exactly. That's. I mean, listen. Spider Quake. Her explanation is dumb because if her mom has a gene, that means she still be looking over her shoulders about having it. So getting tested will give her confirmation so she doesn't have to worry. Yes. Eh, but you're not getting this by a quick. Like, yes, from a logical standpoint, you're not wrong, but there's logic and then there's emotions. And those two don't always coincide. And that's where you're getting that disconnect. That's good wine, but sweet. I know I like sweet wine, Tracy, but it's bad because it sneaks up on you, and then if you're not careful, you can wind up having a hangover. Okay, you know, my point is that Chase was right. Is that Dante was looking at Willow the whole time, didn't bother to really consider Michael as far as being a suspect. Um, and then he realized, hey, like, yes, and that's very true. Then he said, yeah, don't drink the whole bottle in under 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not true. That's not true. No, okay, you're right. I'm just making up a whole bunch of lies tonight. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. No, she did not take the money and ran. She told the truth. Bend that elbow. Bend that elbow. Bend that elbow for me. I don't know what you mean by that. Bend it which way? What, this way? I mean, there's nothing really there, so. Hmm. Well, see, that's the thing, GH fan. It's an opinion, right? So you don't have to agree with my opinion, but it's still my opinion at the end of the day, right? That's how opinions work. Okay? But yeah, like I said, Chase was right, and Dante admitted that shit today. That he was even on a subconscious level and a conscious level. She told the truth. There's a whole host of people who wanted that man dead. The only one who definitely didn't do it was Jason. That's true. Now, so Michael is now looking really crazy. Well, here's the thing. Michael shouldn't have sat there and lied. Like, I wholeheartedly agree with Spider Quick on that. He shouldn't have sat there and lied. Curtis is like, yo, listen, just because I don't actually have an alibi doesn't mean I did it. And if we're gonna be honest, like, in what universe did you honestly think it was a smart idea for you to sit there and try to razzle dazzle a sex worker into being your alibi? I'm good, Shane. I'm good, Shane. Shannon, how are you doing? One second, Ron. Both Chase and Dante are right about each other. No opinions about that's just straight facts from both sides. Falsely accusing Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Um, just got here and I got a question. Not sure if you talk. Oh, I talk about YNR, Shannon. I talk about YNR. So yeah, we were talking about YNR earlier. Yeah, I watch all the stuff. So yeah, what do you think about Sheila told? What do you think when Sheila told Lee that if anything happens between Deacon and Taylor, if they to do anything, she would that she's a nut job and that she didn't fucking reform. Well, no, it's called reasonable doubt. My point is, listen, I get it. I'm gonna let it go because I know I'm gonna sit there and say something that's just gonna get you upset. So like, Dante was right about certain things, and so was Chase. That's why I agree with Brock. They should have no. Well, yes, I agree with that too. They should have both been off the case. But my point is that like Chase was right. Dante was meant to protect Michael. Dante even literally sat there and said, "I should have pushed harder on that whole alibi thing that fell apart. You made Justine look like an idiot." Um, Victoria says, "Who shot Joe?" Well, I guess we're all Friday on Friday. But yeah, Shannon, I do talk about YNR. Um, Nick is an idiot. Victor is an idiot. Matt Clark is literally just Todd 2.0. If you ever watch One Life to Live, and Sharon still don't like Sienna. Okay, Sharon still don't like Sienna. She still sent to giving her those ugh mug looks on her face. Um, who is Portia's baby daddy? I would sit there and say Isaiah because if it's not Isaiah, he's just lost most of his fucking relevancy. Don't watch one that was. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go with Danny Bear. Here we go with Danny Bear. That's true. That's true. That's true, Jane. Monique says, and what's good, LaShawn? Lashanta? Monique says, Katie said Thomas got his job because of nepotism, not the fact that he worked for his spot when your niece was handed a fashion line. That's true. No one told him to investigate Michael's alibi. It's not like he was hiding evidence. Uh, I mean, Danny Bear is more of an opinion than truth, but we'll split the difference. Um, my whole point is you trusted a damn sex worker. And listen, I have nothing against sex workers, but you trusted a sex worker to be your alibi, and now you look like Boo the Fool. You lied, you perjured yourself. And I have to tell you the truth, you look more guilty than Willow does. I don't, but other people have said that Chase needs to be fired. Dante needs to be fired too. Chase was actually fucking right. Dante was literally snitching protecting Michael. He even said so himself. He even also said that Chase was right. So no, he doesn't. Let's Okay, Spikequick says, let's see if Ryan can explain how Mike was falsely accused. He lied about his alibi. He was at the crime scene. He was at Liz where the pew pew was put there and hit Drew and said how he hates Drew. Exactly. Yes. She somehow is falsely accusing him. Like my goodness, like bro, I know that you like Michael, but damn. He also sat there and said that the whole town was somehow against Michael. So is that and it's also circumstantial evidence. Jay's fan, same thing with Willow. They're both circumstantial. Why do you care about Peter Blake? I don't care about Peter Blake like that. Everybody lied about their alibi. Yeah, everybody should be fucking going to jail too. Why do you? Who said I say cared about Peter Blake? Just because I didn't want the dude to sit there and have the plug pulled on him. I've been stuck there saying that shit for a hot minute about Willow being on trial with this circumstantial flimsy ass evidence. It's the things that you trying to not back that up. But and again, that's the thing. Isaiah's too arrogant and cocky. Um, when did he display his arrogance and his cockiness? I mean, that's my whole thing now. I'm just curious. Um, I would laugh. I would, I would laugh. I would laugh. Listen, I want Christina to sit there and get a refund. Okay, that's what I want. I want Christina to be like, "Yo, listen, you didn't leave town, and you told the goddamn truth." Which I did not tell you to do that. So give me that bag back. What's good, Sean? Sean says, "I think Chase will indicate Michael. He made false statements. Just send the alibi obstructed of justice. That would be epic. Chase arresting Michael in handcuffs. That would be epic." Why does it always have to be against Michael or for Michael? You always seem like you have these extremes. You always seem like you have these extremes. Like, I'm against Michael. I'm for Michael. Like, I kind of just take it day by day and episode by episode. I don't do team stuff or whatever. Like, Tracy says, I think Carly may have done it. Exactly. Carly could have done it. LaShanta said, didn't Portia claim she wanted a DNA test? Now she want to wait. Yeah, she did. And I don't understand that. Like, that's literally, um, yeah, it's counterproductive. If it was truly Christina should get a refund for just sending the felony do it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, girl, you have one. I was like, girl, you have one job. You have one job. Your job was to sit there and lie on court in court. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, GH fan. Depending on the episode, depending on the evidence, my mind changes from 1 minute to the next. That's the thing, Jade fam. 1 minute I like Carly, the next minute Carly can annoy me. 1 minute I like Nina, the next minute Nina can annoy me. It's life, man. It's life. Speaking of life, just on a side note, I did watch that movie. Um, what's the movie with Marlon? What's the movie with Marlon Wayans? Him. That was the most confusing shit I ever saw in my goddamn life. Holy shit, that movie kind of almost gave me a damn headache. That is the running trend with him, Ron. Maybe she gave the money back off. I hope so, Tracy, let me tell you something. If I gave her that much money and she just, I don't even understand how that shit works. I give you money and you're like, okay, cool. You couldn't just sat there and have texted. You can just have sat there and texted Michael, be like, yo, Michael, we need to get out of here. You go to the fucking courthouse to sit there and tell Michael, then they're like, okay, well, you're up next. Can I just get like 2 minutes? No, you're up next. Sean says if Michael shot Drew, he would be in prison for a long time attempted murder of a congressman. I agree with you that Michael should have told the truth from the beginning, but can you see why he didn't? How bad would it have looked for him to admit that he was at Drew's house that night? Well, it looks a lot worse now. So, like, it looks a lot worse now. He should have told the goddamn truth. We're not gonna play this whole. Oh, you can see why he didn't. Like, I can see why he didn't, but he should have. Called being a grown ass adult. Okay, you you make stupid choices, you get stupid prizes. That's exactly why Curtis decided to not lie about his damn alibi. I don't even like Curtis like that. Exactly. I was saying he should have sat there and texted her ass. She should have sat there and texted his ass. Darby says, I don't think there are refunds with sex workers ever, even if there is no sex involved. I like that, Darby. Thank you, Tracy. I've been Smith is saying that for fucking ever. Thank you, Tracy. I've been saying that forever. Like literally, I've been sitting there saying that forever. But people were just like, "No, what are you talking about? He likes her just as much as she likes him." Like, okay, yeah, okay, sure. That's right. That's right, GH fan. Listen, I'm just gonna spitball this, okay? I know you like Michael. I don't just go hard on Michael. I go hard on everybody. Everybody gets it at some point in time. I don't care what soap opera it is. My favorites to my least favorites, they all get it. So do not sit there and take it personal because I'm being harsh on Michael. I'm gonna be harsh on Sunday tomorrow, maybe, or or maybe Jason. Seriously, Jerry, I go out on everybody. Listen, no one is spared the rod. LaShawn said Hobby got drunk on that bottle. Yo, there are certain people that are just obnoxious as shit when they get drunk, and Hobby is definitely one of those people. But the crazy thing is, Jacinda did know she was with that dude the night. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, listen, why did you lie to Michael? He literally sat there and said, I have a certain level of parameters. I need you to be honest with me. Sure, buddy, I got you. And then you go to court. Yeah, I was with Ezra. Yeah, GH man. I don't need you to sit there and take things so personal when I go out to Michael. Oh, I go out to fucking Trina, and apparently Trina is a no-fly zone, and guess what? I fly over that bitch every single time. I do. I absolutely do. I go hard at Trina because I don't give a shit. I don't care whose feelings get hurt. Why is Gwen using Dimitri for money? We're not watching the same soap opera. Ron, why is the sky blue? I really want to know why is the sky blue. You're able to tell me that, right? Um, oof. She's the most interesting part of the show, then the bar is really low. I just want to know. You want to ask questions, so Jerry, I want to ask questions too. Ron, watch the sky blue. Pan says, "Hey, first." Pan says, "Hello, first of all, I thoroughly enjoy it. Anyone could have the ringtone that Kai and Trina had heard, and I also believe that Willow has lost her mind, has a split personality, and shot Drew. I would love that. And also, thank you, Pan. Pan Handler. Thank you. Let's everyone say what's up to Pan Handler. How long has it been since we spoke to Alyssa? Probably a couple of months. I would honestly sit there and say a couple of months, Darby. Um, because I talked to her. Is it because of the whole trainer thing I said? Um, I talked to her like maybe a couple months ago. She said she was just taking a break from the chat. Do you think that Michael is deliberately using Jacinda? I think he genuinely cares about her, but I do agree that his feelings may not be equal to her. I think he cares about her. I think he was shocked and disappointed like everybody was. Hell, even I was. I was like, girl, you have one job. I was like, you have one job. And no, Pan is 100% correct. Anyone can actually have, and somebody else in my comment section said the same thing. Yeah, they did jump the gun. You know what? It's 9:07, and I figure, you know what? Let me turn this off. I don't know, Sean. I like, well, his thing. I like Billy Flynn. So like I can't really, Sharon says sorry, Albert, but nothing Willow does show that she has split personality. That girl is crazy. I think people can snap though. Oh, really, Ron? Really? We just gonna start saying stupid shit now? One at a time, with almost ripped me a new one for disagreeing. Trina, she. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Darby. I'm not even joking about it. I'm being like dead ass serious. Like, cause like the this version would have shut that shit down in a fucking heartbeat. When she did that, this was the Albert that was trying to appease people. So I apologize to you, Darby, and I apologize to Spiderquake. And when he comes back in here, I'll make sure I apologize to him for that. See, now I have no problem sitting there ripping Trina a new one. Trina has been just fucking annoying. And I knew I forgot to sit there and do something. Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait till the fucking plane leaves. So she had to use kid gloves against Michael. She, I know I'm talking to the wrong person by saying this, but just for shits and giggles, should she have used kid gloves? For a reasonable doubt. And she literally sat there and said, and you think that she enjoys, why do I gotta go there? You think she enjoys sitting there ripping Michael a new one? She literally told Christina that, hey, listen, Michael's going to be fine. Scout is not. I'm creating reasonable doubt. He's going to be fine. Trina is almost difficult as her mouth. She's actually kind of worse. She's actually getting kind of worse. Speaking of soap operas, um, well, I made a soap opera. Okay, that's right. I made a soap opera. I still think you should watch the short though, but I'll show you the where is it? I'll show you the soap operas I was working on. Hold on, I'm not ignoring anyone, I promise. Sean says Michael is getting annoying. Hmm. All right. So
Lena, I can't keep pretending none of this happened.
Then say it out loud.
Jesse's my son. I thought hiding it would protect you, but I was only protecting myself.
You let me raise him alone, Albert.
I'll spend. You're supposed to hear that call,
It's
Maya.
true then. You kept her secret from me this whole time.
I was trying to protect you. Your mother didn't want to be found.
And now?
Now everything changes.
Because
now, see, that's a soap opera that I can sit there and get into. I don't know about y'all, but I can totally get myself into that soap opera. Though. Darby says, if Albert is making a soap opera, you can be the main bad guy, and I can be your loyal flunky number two. Sure, absolutely. LaShawn said, did Deke Sharp copy Thomas' design from Forest Creation? Uh, what? What? Yes, making a soap opera my own. It'll be by me, starring me, and gonna have some other characters. But yes, so definitely check out the short stuff. Seriously, we're still on that? Dude, how long has it been? Like a whole, like, what, 2 years? Could have swore it could have been longer than 2 years, but I'm guessing like around 2 years. Hey, Darby, you want to sit there and see a storyline with Sheila Carter being, pregnant? No, Deke didn't have enough time with Thomas to still design. Well, no, Darby, I think this question is more important. This question is specifically for you. Spelled your name right and everything. I think you should answer the man. God damn, 6.7 million? That shit is crazy. Jonathan, how the hell have you been? It is. I was like, listen, I want to sit there and do a live stream tonight. Let's sit there and cook. Let's have some fun. Tracy says I was on fire with. Thank you, Tracy. I'm loving. Honestly, tell you the truth, I gotta sit there and thank DC Soap Sanctuary because he said something in the stream, and I was like, maybe I should do some soap opera stuff. So you've been actually a lot of fun. You're doing a good job with getting it. Thank you, Tracy. And thank you, Danny Bear. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Seriously. It's actually been a lot of fun doing that. Like, seriously. Thank you, Tracy. It takes a certain amount of time for it to look like me, which is unfortunate. But when it does look like me and like the dialogue is like it just works out. Jonathan, you remember the joke? That's right. Here we go. You remember the joke? What's the joke, Jonathan? Or for my chat members, what's the joke? You can answer Ron's question in a second. What's the joke? Debbie says, got you copyrights down to the Billy. Yeah, listen, how to do it. You forget. God. Monique says, you're so amazing on it. Thank you, Monique. Listen, they have some level of drama to it. like with the music and everything like that. Listen, Monet, like you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna sit there and make my own goddamn soap operas. I was like, I'm gonna make my own goddamn soap operas. You're gonna make these soap operas are amazing. You're gonna make these soap operas amazing, or else, otherwise I'm gonna sit there and take over. I appreciate that. Thank you, Monet. God. Sean says, I have no idea what's happening on Beyond the Gay Song character. I remember it is the nurse. So you only remember like the busybody chick. Well, I mean, you're not missing much. You're not missing anything on there, honestly. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that show to you, to be honest. Um, they haven't been offering much most days, Jonathan. Unfortunately. Ryan says, "Do you still agree with Michael that Drew should be around?" No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Ryan. I 100% agree with Michael on that. I think any person with a functioning brain would sit there and agree with that, Ryan. Any person with a functioning brain, yes. Danny Beer says Ridge, Brooke, and Carter being pissy about Bill taking the Logan domain. It's their fault they lost it. There you go. Y'all obviously didn't care enough to stay on. You know, Danny Bear, the thing that really was like really disheartening is that they sat there and they shit talked Katie for a good 20 minutes. And Brooke, her fucking sister, literally piled on. Uh, with Drew being there, no. But Willow by herself, yes, because the kids need their mom. We may You may not like Willow, but the kids need their mom. But with Drew being around, I totally understand that. I wasn't around for that time, but Ron says, "Do you think that Kristen will accept Brady back with open arms when Sarah tossed him?" Um, I would hope not now. Maybe a couple of years ago, her desperate ass probably would, but now, hopefully not. Hopefully she got this thing called self-respect, but well, I've been let down before, so yeah. The show says I think Willow shot Drew. Or Mitchell. Mitchell says Willow shot Drew. Tracy says I think you're doing Tracy says I think you're doing a really good. I think you're doing really good with those many videos. You should make a lot. You should make take a lot of time and work. Thank you, Tracy. No, listen, they've been a lot of fun to do. Um, you know what it is, Tracy? I like the fact that I can explore many different genres. You know, I think that's what's really cool about it. You know, one minute I can sit there and do a soap opera, the next minute I can do like like a Blade Runner, like sci-fi. I can do action. I can do comedy, and I think that's what I really like about that. You know, Brooke is a shitty sister. She's a shit sister. She thinks this is all about Katie being jealous of her. That's just from her wanting to use her own freaking name. Shut up. Yeah. Um. I mean, yes. Ryan. But you know why Ryan. You know exactly what I mean by that. If Willow did shot Drew, she was in a psychotic state and blacked out. Monique says Jack relying on Nikki to turn against Victor was stupid. She knew about the AI software and didn't say anything to Jack, but had smoke for Adam. Like, why didn't you tell me, but not Nikki? Um, it was stupid. You know, the sad thing is, Monique, I think Jack Beck's option was to get Phyllis involved. She stole the program. She would have no problem stealing it back. Here's the thing. It's a better option than relying on Nikki. That could be true, Michelle. It was a better option than relying on fucking Nikki. You know, well, I mean, listen, Ryan, I respect your feelings. I respect your opinion. I disagree, and that's fine. But that's how I feel. I ain't moving that budget. I ain't moving that one. Like I said, Monique, the fact that it was laughable when she came to the door and Victor let her in. I was like, Victor, did you forget that you kicked her out for a reason? I mean, he literally sat there and was like, okay, after all these years, you're going to sit there and try to dump me for Jack? Yes, Ryan, I do. And I ain't budging. I ain't budging. I'm seriously not budging. I'm like, I'm trying to be jokey about it, but I ain't budging. So you might as well just move on from that. Trina and Kai think Michael shot Drew because of the song they heard, but Michael never mentioned the ringtone. Yeah, no, they didn't, and they did jump to conclusions. That's 100% true. You know, it's funny. Um, Kyrie's had a title for one of his streams, and he was pretty much there saying like Trina needs something to make her relevant. Right? Trina hasn't been relevant. And we're not doing that. Ryan, I'm being nice. Okay? I'm being nice. I stand by what I said with the whole Sunny thing. We're not, there's no point in Smith dissecting that. I stand on that. Like, there's certain things we're not going to sit there and budge on. That's one of them. So, you might as well just let that go. Danny says, yeah, Jack's stupid if he thinks Nikki was held. She left Victor for like 2 seconds. She's not giving up that. You know what? That's actually very true. She ain't giving up that goddamn life. She ain't giving up that life, that lifestyle and everything like that. Ooh, pretty necklace. What was I talking about again? Joe didn't Michael didn't stop it. What's good, Joe? Monique says all Victor got to do is flash some. You know, it's funny. I said that all Victor got to do is flash some jewelry and a fancy coin. Look how quick Michael and Nikki gave in to Victor. Make it no. I feel like I did. I feel like I feel like I did a couple weeks ago, but I'm gonna watch it tonight though. I feel like I watched it like a couple weeks ago. Wasn't it Cyclops doing something? Wasn't Cyclops using his powers and shit? Whose side were you on yesterday, Curtis or Isaiah? I was on Isaiah's side. I was on Isaiah's side. I didn't think it was bad that Curtis asked for a paternity test, but once Portia said no, he should have let it go. Instead, he's up there pressuring. Okay, so yeah, I did see it. I'm gonna watch it again because it's marvelous. I'm gonna watch it again. On on their official YouTube page. I'm actually very hyped about that. Because Isaiah was like, yo, listen, you're not gonna sit there and pressure her. At the end of the day, the baby is the most important part. Isaiah, Portia is important. You can't sit there and do that. You know? I was on Isaiah's side. I understand. Curtis, listen, you gotta sit there and ask. Once she said no, you should have just let that go. Should GH copy Days of Our Lives, who shot EJ Demerit? It was for the Rachel. They should make a Scout who shot. First of all, Ron, I want to sit there and say I'm very impressed at the fact that you know who Scout is. Second of all, I felt like we've been sitting there saying that shit for a hot minute. Like, what if Scout actually shot Drew? That'll be really funny. I might actually have to give Ron a shout out. If I'm not joking, if Scout was the one that actually shot Drew. But that's the thing, Mike. They that trailer was out like maybe about like 2 weeks ago, if not longer. Exactly, Jonathan. One said they are half brothers and sisters, same mom, different dad. But that's exactly what I'm sitting there saying, Jonathan. That's what Ron was sitting there saying. Ron was like, Jesus should copy Days with that. As I said before, I think say exactly. Then we all been sitting there kind of saying that a little bit, like, what if Scout, you know? It's funny, Ron. You can sit there and say a bunch of weird and bizarre shit, but like every now and then, hmm, Mitchell says Michael's the best actor on GH. Oh, wow, that's funny. I'm gonna sit there and read this shit out loud. So Mitchell said Michael is the best actor on GH. Reevaluate himself. Listen, Drew should have probably reevaluated himself a long time ago. But like, do you think that Dante did anything to warrant being fired? He didn't hide evidence. Plus, Anna was the commissioner. Willow was arrested. No, listen. I agree with that part, but like, I'm not. I'm going to be honest, GH fan. I stand on business with that. That Dante did sit there and protect Michael. He literally sat there and said it himself when he was like he owed Michael a debt for the 2009 incident. Chase was right that he didn't bother to sit there and pressure Mike. He didn't sit there and bother to push Michael as far as that whole um, alibi thing. He really was going more after Willow than Michael. Even though, in my personal opinion, Michael had way more reason to sit there and go at Drew. Um, he admitted that Chase was right. I don't understand. Like what are we even talking about? It's like, what are you trying to trick me or something like that? I felt like you just asked me that question, this in reverse. Johnson says, What if Drew one day gets back his original memories before he came to Port Charles? Well, then he'll definitely be less of an asshole, less spiteful, less vindictive. I swear we didn't talk about anything else except for what else actually wound up happening on this episode. I mean, I know it was like a lot of you don't shout me out when I repeat that. Actually, you're right, Ron. I totally didn't shout you out. You're absolutely right, Ron. Anyway, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And I wasn't drinking, so I don't remember that. Now Johnson says Valentine is staying in the attic. So he's staying in the attic, right? Isaiah is still grown. growing on me, but I do agree with Isaiah on this. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Isaiah on that as well. So okay, Kevin pretty much left today, or he left a couple of days ago. For all the GH fans that was like, "Oh my God, Kevin is back. He's there to support Laura." Well, that shit evaporated pretty quickly. Like, I mean, again, like, I was like, Laura, you put yourself in this position. This is another person who I'm just like is way past their prime who needed to leave a long fucking time ago. Laura, using that they're trying to get baby Ace out of town, like Charlotte isn't a target, like Lulu isn't a target, like Lucky isn't a target. You don't think that Aiden isn't posting shit on his social media that they can't sit there and find where Lucky's at? You say he didn't think you. I remember that. I remember that conversation. You're right. Listen, I'm still standing on business. I don't know what is that you're trying to like prove, but like, and I'm not saying you're wrong to that, Cage fan, but I don't understand what does that have to do with like anything. What does that have to do with anything? I don't even understand. Like, I feel like you're building some sort of puzzle or something. Now will be a good time for Day Center to meet your father. Oscar? Is that name? Oscar? Okay, Jonathan, I think I have a better question for you. Um, who should Javi be? I mean, who should Leo be with? Javi or Dimitri? I don't think he would care that much. Oscar, thank you. It is Oscar, okay. But who do you think that Leo should be with? Dimitri or Javi? I'm a probably Javi. Okay. Well, aggressively or not, she chose to go after Willow instead of looking at Michael. Now, Danny Bear says Leo should go with Dimitri. It's actually really funny. I was pretty torn. Now, okay, Danny Bear, why do you think that Javi should go with Dimitri? I mean, why do you think that Leo should go with Dimitri as opposed to Javi? I want to hear her answer. I feel like her and my answer are very similar. Like I said, here's the thing, Jay. What I don't understand is that you're simply trying to defend Dante's actions, and Dante Gloria was good. It's good to see you. Dante agreed with Chase. Like, what? Where are we going with this? Dante literally agreed with Chase. Like, you're trying to. I'm gonna be honest. I've been drinking a lot. I feel like you're trying to defend Dante or his approach, and he literally agreed with Chase. Terry says Lucky is a grown man who can take care of himself, but Ace is defensive baby who needs people to protect him. Like Alexis looked out for Scout when designed to protect. Oh my God! Here's the thing, Darby. You're not wrong, but you're not right in the fact that like the point that I'm trying to make is that Sitwell can go out to anybody. It doesn't matter if you get the baby out to town. You're still you're still. Are you serious, Jonathan? The point is that they're all fucking targets. It doesn't really matter if he gets baby Ace out of town or not. Danny says Leo and Dimitri would be together if it wasn't for Guinevere and her events. Their scenes had me fangirling. Okay, all right, good to know. Thank you. Okay, that's good to know. One last thing I will say there will that there were several conversations that Dante had with Anna and Nathan about Michael. It's not like he totally left Michael out of the conversation about the crime. Well, it depends on the outcome, right, Jonathan? So, like, if she gets the money, then she don't really have to do anything. If she loses the money, then she's gonna have to go on a revenge quest. And here's the thing, Gage, man. You are, my job as a host is just to sit there and talk to you and hear you out, right? Not really argue or have a super long debate or anything. So make sure that you have a good time. And I think I've done my job actually pretty well. So I'm not I'm not even gonna sit there and even try to. I'm just not. You're a fan, I guess. I just don't know what you're expecting from Dante. Let's go, Willow. I feel like his thing, Chase. I feel like I'm not gonna be. I feel. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna be nice. I probably shouldn't. I really should. Like, there's a huge petty side of me, but I'm like, I'm just gonna let that go. Danny Beer says it's funny how Dimitri were always the mayors were already fighting to take over the company, but now none of them want it. That's actually 100% true. And yeah, let's say what's up to Willow, who is not Willow Tate, obviously. Um, it was now. We got Willow in the chat, who is not Willow Tate, by the way. Um, exactly. Let's everyone welcome not Willow Tate. Yeah, I actually am pretty happy that I did come on tonight. And I don't even think I was being that much of a dick. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself. Oof, showed a certain level of compassion for like growing up. Hello, yes, exactly. We got panhandle handle. This is that is not Willow Tate, Darby. You stop it. Let's not sit there and try to scare the new people. What the hell does the matter with you, Darby? Um, I'm looking like I'm actually looking for fucking notes, and there's no notes. You know what? Let's see how Jack handles an asset, right? Because here's the thing: Jack got Willow's license back, and she ain't Willow Tate. She ain't Willow Tate, Darby. What's the matter with you? Let's see how he handles. Oh yeah, and Carly's still on her revenge tour with Jack, which again I gotta sit there and say is some real dumb shit, right? She's all like, "Oh, you put my daughter in danger." Okay, sure, Carly. Ron, you already know the answer to that. I already said the answer to that. Like, what? Why are you asking a question? I said that answer. I said that to you like 2 weeks ago. You know the answer to that. Are you gonna sit there and answer me why is the sky blue? I want you to answer me that question and then I'll re-answer you that question. LaShawn says it wasn't Outback, the Beagle dog that shot Drum. Pan said Carly's show was taking off for Jack when she was talking with. Yeah, exactly. And see that's the thing though, right? See, Valentine has been spent there counting on egging Carly on, you know, to help with this revenge plan. Because here's the thing: if he was able to sit there and get revenge on Jack by himself, he wouldn't really involve Carly. But he needs Carly to sit there and egg her on and everything like that. Here's the thing. You're right. You're right, Ryan. But see, I'm choosing to focus on the fact that she's being a hypocrite. You know my reasons why, Ryan. Would you like to rehear them again? Because I'll be more. Listen, as much as I drink, I am more than sober enough to sit there and just go over the lovely reasons of why I think that Carly is being a giant fucking hypocrite. I have no problem doing that. She's put her kids in danger. She's put her kids in danger for a long time. She shows her love and her happiness over her damn kids. I don't think I have to sit there and explain the rest. Whoever says, speaking of which, did you hear that black guy on the wire recently died? I heard of that. I don't remember the actor, but yes, I did hear that though. I know, Allison, but see, the thing is, I'm choosing to focus on Carly. That's the thing. Yeah, all the sub characters. It's no offense, but it's kind of a weak argument, though. I'm choosing to focus on Carly being the hypocrite because she is. You're right, Ron. I'm a hater. Sure. I don't even know why I bothered to highlight that. But yeah, Carly chose her own happiness over her kids and their lives. And here's the thing. I will always put my damn foot on Carly's neck when it comes to his dad. So her whole outrage about, oh my God, you involved my daughter into the WSB. It was like, yeah, and you know what? You chose to sit there and marry a fucking mobster. So as far as I'm concerned, beautiful, shut your fucking mouth. Like seriously, shut your goddamn mouth. Now she's on this unspoken revenge plan to take Jack down and not treat her daughter like she's a goddamn adult. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Anthony, the number one YouTuber, how are you doing? Still up to 2018 and my memoirs. Okay. Just like everyone is cheated, glad, get mad when they cheated on. Although I know I don't take any so seriously. Yeah. Oh, of course, GH fan, because I'm talking about it. I mean, GH Allison. You got GH fan, you have GH addict. Then he says, "What are Carl and Valentine even doing to exactly?" That's what I'm saying. This mystery fucking plan of taking Jack Brennan down because you recruited my daughter into a dangerous mission, even though I named Jason as the godfather of Jocelyn. Jason, I don't know what you want me to sit there and tell you. Okay. I've said this. I mean, listen, I could try to speak in Japanese if that would just make it a little easier. I mean, I would have to learn it. But the point is, though, I'm calling Carly out on her being a hypocritical ass woman. Okay. I don't know what, like, seriously, Cherry, I'm like, he keeps that they're trying to do this convoluted way of defending fucking Carly. And here's the thing, JH fan, I go after Nina just as hard. I'm choosing now to sit there and go after Carly. I will put my foot on her fucking neck because she is being a hypocritical ass woman who chose love of a mobster over the safety of her own fucking kids. So I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't give two flying fucks about Carly and her stupid ass revenge plot. And at the end of the day, you put your children in danger by being around, by marrying a fucking monster. And Michael was shot in the head. A bullet was in his head. And then what did you wind up doing? You wind up staying with him. You think I give two flying fucks about Carly and the fact I'm calling her a fucking hypocrite? Exactly, Allison. So I'm not going to put my foot off of her neck. So I don't know what this is about, but like I'm calling her a hypocrite. Gage fan. That's the bottom line. How I expect her to react is a moot point. Okay? Carly is a fucking hypocrite. I know you like Carly, you like the Corinthos, you like Michael and everything like that, but my foot is staying on her fucking neck. Just like it would stay on Nina's neck and anybody else that I choose that I see fit. Right now I'm talking about Carly. So that ain't changing. Exactly, Panhandler. She is a hypocrite. She's a goddamn hypocrite. So exactly, Allison. So listen, Sonny's a fucking scumbag who got together with a 17-year-old girl who came from a broken home and decided to give her candy and put her on a pole and then had intercourse with her. So yeah, Sonny's a fucking scumbag. I'm not gonna lie, Gage fan. So, is there a way that Carly could have handled this and would not have been a hypocrite? Hey, listen, you could dump him. Yeah, exactly, Danny Bear. So he is a fucking scumbag. Tracy says, "Do you think Carly will follow through with the whole revenge thing with him?" I kind of don't. Yeah, those pesky feelings, right? Carly seems drawn to dangerous men who everyone warns her about, but she stupidly stubborn stays with them. For example, she married Sonny over 9 times. Yep. He shot AJ and Kate in cold blood. I just, like I said, I know it will get messed up. Like I said, Carly, I, I will ride with this revenge plot, whatever the hell it's going to be. And, I'll continue to sit there and call her a bunch of names throughout the way. But geez, fans, listen, I went, a couple of years ago, I went just as hard on Nate. So, like, Carly getting it is Carly getting it. But, if you was here from get-go, you would have known that I came after Nina's ass as well. So, with her revenge plot, that's fair, and I agree with that. Exactly, Jay. Fans like, listen, if you want to sit there and dump in that spot, plus again, I think it's counterproductive too. That's another thing, Jade fan, because listen, Jack is not there dating, so he's not going to sit there and put her in. what he thinks is two dangerous situations. If Jocelyn decides to stay at the WSB and say, nah, Mom Dukes, I'm gonna sit there and stay, and Jack isn't there, and somebody else is calling the shots, do you think that that person is going to really have that much of a high priority towards Jocelyn's safety that Jack wouldn't? Like, this isn't even a well thought out plan. This is Carly on her emotional bullshit, and people are just riding with it, which is fine. Listen, it's messy, and I'm here to talk about it. But like, you getting rid of Jack is actually kind of productive because the next person that steps in and Jocelyn decides she wants to stay in that life is not going to be as so concerning about her well being. So yeah, okay, good, yeah, yeah, right. You know, when I'm being a dick, I'm not just like there just being a dick just because. There is a little bit of thought that goes into that. By the way, Dio is awake for anyone that actually cares. Yes, Messi, it makes for great. So, yeah, exactly, Danny Bear. That's exactly. I was like, listen, it makes for some great soap and some conversations and everything like that. So, obviously, I'm here for that. Um, Actually, Terry, I'm here for that. Fan says, was someone bringing up all the things that Sonny has done in the past that gets me thinking, why is he acting like such a little B right now when it comes to Sitwell? Bad storytelling, yes. I said the same thing. Then he says, I still wonder what Brennan did with Vaughn. I fucking like Vaughn. I like Vaughn. I like Vaughn. Vaughn puts what you call his feet to the fire. So I've always rocked with Vaughn. Darby says, I would call the ambulance. Somebody must be. Walmart, is you making sense with your arguments about Jack? Darby, I always makes majority of the times I make sense about my arguments. Okay, 98% of the time I talk, I make sense about my arguments. Okay, there's times I troll. Okay, when I was like, oh, I'm Team Drew and everything like that, I was trolling. Okay, I was I was trolling up until the point where he did that to Wiley. When he made Wiley cry and stuff like that, I was like, all right, bro. I was like, bro, I can't even sit there and joke about this anymore. When I did my collab with Dion, I was trolling like there was no tomorrow. It was really funny. I wasn't ignoring them. I didn't. Your comments didn't come up. Welcome Willow. Nope. That's the thing, Jonathan. Your comments didn't come up. You. I wrote my last several I wrote my last comment several times, and you didn't say no. It didn't come up. Listen, here's the thing, I knew it was on top of the comments. Um, again, I'm only one person, but like I literally, yeah, yeah. And I went back and looked because I was like, nah. I was like, hold on. I know it was on top of the comments for the most part, so I was like, that was weird. I didn't even know what you said to actually have it blocked. That's the weird part. Exactly, Darby. That's exactly what I looked at. Thank you. And the fact that you saw that too, it was like, okay, I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not fucking tripping. I was like, I did not have that much, and I can hold my liquor, but thank you, Darby, for confirming that. Like I know, I'm like, I know I'm not losing my fucking mind. Not yet. I was losing it for a minute. I was like, what the fuck? The comment after that was clear. Yeah, weird. I don't know why. I mean, you didn't. You're not the type of person that like says like profanity or anything like that. That's like obscene. So I don't know. I'm sorry it was blocked. I don't. Was it the inside joke that you forgot, Jonathan? I need you to remember that inside joke tomorrow. Because I'm gonna sit there and ask people. I'm gonna ask my members about the inside joke. Darby, what was the inside joke? Let's see if Darby remembers the inside joke. Okay, sounds good. Let's see if Darby remembers the inside joke. God damn it. I was cool that Ashley Joss is safer with Jack being her. Exactly, Darby. That's exactly my argument right there. You could have woke up call. You could have a wake up call if the carpet is scout. Yes. Maybe says, "What are you going? What are you going about now?" Well, Darby, if you're in my stream on Sunday, I specifically had an inside joke for the members. Um, Jonathan doesn't remember it. I hope he remembers it tomorrow. But it was around 9 o'clock, and I had an inside joke. Now Darby doesn't remember the inside joke. Okay, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna give this shit. I'm gonna give this tomorrow. Case fan says, one of the worst things about Joe, he's not even a funny soap villain. I love soap villains like Kristen DeMera, Helena Cassadine, and Vivian Alamain, who are horrible but make me laugh. Ryan, I'm gonna sit there and give you a lot of points for you even remembering Vivian Alamain. Helena Cassadine, okay, cool. Kristen DeMera, she is. I give you points for that. But Vivian Alamain, now that's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive, Ryan. That's true, Jonathan. I was going in and out on Sunday. I must have missed it. It's all good, Darby. I just, you were going in and out, so go back and watch it. I just like, I want my members to remember the inside joke tomorrow. I almost slipped up and said it, but I was like, nope, I'm gonna give you out till tomorrow. Jonathan was actually in the chat. Never mind. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Here is not Kristen, Helena, and Vivian level of villain. Pan says, so did Jack actually shoot Cyrus and just trick Jocelyn into doing what he wanted? No, then it was Jocelyn that shot Cyrus. Jocelyn shot Cyrus. Cyrus came at her with a hatchet, and Jocelyn put his ass down. It would make the show interesting, but it would also be a little out of place, though. right? Like Stargirls was like he was villain, but he was like very cartoonish villain. Like Leslie is a little bit more grounded for that show, if that makes sense. Each fan says Vivian Alameen is hilarious. In the '90s, she switched Kate's embryo, and Ivan was taking to her and said, "Quiet, you wait the embryo." Oh shit! Okay, that's what's up, Jage man. That's what's up. I'm just like I said, I'm very impressed that you know about Days of Our Lives. So that's cool. Larry says, I kind of sympathize with Drew lashing out on his former friend. Says none of them were there to protect him from getting beaten almost to death in prison after stupidly going. Here's the thing. I will always sit there and say that. Okay, I know people don't like Drew and I don't give a shit. Drew is out of his fucking mind for going to jail for a crime that Carly committed. That she knowingly committed and chose to do that shit anyway. And Drew went to jail. And the fact that Carly sat there and tried to throw it in his face, I was like, girl, your ass should have been sitting there doing time for a crime that you committed for insider trading when Michael also told your dumbass not to then do it. You chose to do it. That's a bit illogical though. How could those friends have protected him from that? I mean, like I said, Carly was being ungrateful. To this day, I still felt like Carly should have went to jail for a crime that she committed. Not that whole thing that Jack cleaned up because I didn't. I felt like those was bogus charges. The whole because she said she was the head of the mob family racketeer charge. I felt like that was bullshit. Those insider trading charges, no, that's the shit that she should have went to jail for. And she didn't. Because Drew, like a fucking dumbass, decided to go to jail for her. And she thanked him 1 minute, and next minute she's in there throwing it in his face and was like, man, I wish I had a fucking time machine so your ass can go to jail for a crime that you fucking committed. Shouldn't Lulu be doing time in prison instead of John Sakar because of her crime? To be fair, Darby, I don't remember that, so I can't sit down and weigh on that. I can't weigh on that. I can't weigh in on that. But as far as the whole Drew and Carly thing, no. Carly should went to jail for a crime that she committed. Eagle! It was nice that Emma took time out her 2 months vacation, dog napping, and spending time with Jill to try the one that pays the bills. Eagle, I love it. It's facts right there. Dante looked the other way that time too. Yeah, I listen. I've gave my comments about Dante, and I stick by every single goddamn one of them. But I love that comment. That's fucking true. That's true. That's fucking facts right there. God damn it, Eagle. How the hell have you been? I know you probably wasn't used to me coming into the stream on Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow. Though. I was like, fuck it. I was like, listen. I was like, I had to stream today. I had to stream today. Also, for the people that didn't watch, I put out a new short, so definitely check that out. Um, Actually, I have two new shorts, one yesterday and one today. So if you didn't watch those, definitely check those out. I meant that Carly should have gone to prison, not to the prison. Okay, all right. 'Cause, 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 okay, all right. But yeah, I don't. But you know, listen, it was a shitty day. So also, I was not working tomorrow. So while I'm not gonna go to bed too late, I figured it was better for me to stream today. Than for me not to stream Friday. I gotta wake up at a ridiculous time in the morning. So I'm questioning if I should be streaming on Thursday, but I might not. I was like, today I got time. I had a whole fucking plan. Look, you know, I'm gonna sit there and say this. I had a whole plan, right? I watched The Young and the Restless yesterday. The plan was to wake up in the morning, go to work, and watch Days of Our Lives. And then I didn't have internet on my phone for some reason. The idea was for me to come back and actually only do three soap operas at 2.5. You know, the thing is, Bobby, it pushed everything back because I didn't, you know, I watched The Young and the Restless yesterday. The idea was to watch Days of Our Lives in the morning and then come back and only do three soaps. But because I didn't have internet, I couldn't watch it until I got home. So it just pushed everything back, and just a whole bunch of other stuff happened. And I mean, granted, it was like superficial stuff, but it just fucked up my whole goddamn plan. So it was just kind of annoying. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stream. We're gonna sit there and cook. We're gonna talk tonight. Um, I was honestly, to tell you the truth, I was like, I, I knew. Here's the thing. I knew I was gonna go hard on Michael. I didn't know how GH fan was gonna sit there and take it. Some people will do anything for love, I guess. But I was like, you know, what, let's stream. I'm off tomorrow. I was like, let's have a good time. Like, fuck it. So it wasn't like bad news or anything like that. But Victor, Jonathan, I think it's Victor. I think it's Victor. I mean, Jonathan, let me ask you a question. Don't you? Okay, Jonathan, don't you feel like he's acting like Todd Manning? Don't you kind of feel like he's acting like an older Todd Manning? He says you figure Trina would have learned her lesson about assuming things about people, and there she goes. Oh, Michael shot Drew. Whoever did deserve a Medal of Honor, Drew, is a POS. The writing team is so bad. The writing team may not be great, but why? But YNR and their writing team. Here's the thing. Exactly. I honestly feel like when the writing team are doing The Young and Restless, they must be having a shot. They must be having a couple of shots of Jack Daniels. The Young and the Restless writing team must be having a couple of shots of Jack Daniels because, like, it's Nick ended up in the same hospital room. Exactly. And how did his dumbass actually want to get in there? Because he decided to sit there and take a dangerous fucking creep felon like Matt Clark to God knows where by himself. Might be on B&B's level right now. It might be. It might actually be below. Listen, that's the thing, Eagle. I'm here for Katie, her fashion house. Because Ridge and Brooke are fucking terrible. So I really want Katie Baby to win. You think Sheila was spiraled back? Oh, Jonathan, she literally sat there and said that if anything happens between my husband and Taylor, she's going to unalive Taylor. So absolutely, who writes this stuff? Eagle, anybody that's on Jack Daniels that had a couple of shots of Jack Daniels to sit there and write that. Humans never saw Godfather. I just literally sat there was like, bro, you didn't bother to sit there and take any sort of security. And like one of the people in the chat was like, Nikki and Victoria were concerned, and Victor was like, hey, I got to handle it. Okay, everything's under control. You don't need to worry. until he gets a call from Nixon that's saying that he's stuck in a ditch. Then Victor just sat there and looked like a fucking idiot. And I'm like, how did you? This is my whole thing. It's like, how did this show last on the air longer than One Life to Live? Longer than all my fucking children. Are you old enough to have one? No, well, here's the thing. I'm not old enough to have watched Ryan's Hole. I heard of Loving, but I didn't watch Loving though. But I remember Loving. The thing is, Pan, I started watching soap operas 1998. Um, during like when One Like to Live in Port Charles is on, and Why Not as long as Roger Howard's in it. And then Deacon would end up leaving Sheila. I'm sure that would make Deke. Oh, that would definitely make Deke happy. If you if you sort of look on Deke's face when Sheila tried to sit there and talk to him, you're like, "Oh, you're so nice and charming," and Deke was like, he just gave that, yeah, you know what, f you, look. And Weiner was just okay. He says, I'm not even saying this because I follow you. I enjoy your source videos more than the shows. If Willow is found not guilty, which I assume that's the plan, I'm just going to stick to. Well, first of all, thank you, Eagle, for watching the video, for watching the source videos. They've been very fun to make. They've been very fun to make. And the thing is, Eagle, I'm doing this whole like this week. I'm doing a whole. If I was in the soap opera, you know. I'm not gonna lie, they're actually like the scenarios are actually pretty interesting. Seriously, Cherry, I don't know if you've been watching them, but like this week I put myself in in a soap opera. I'm hoping that Weiner changes course and lets Sienna scam the Newmans and con them along with Mitch. It's really funny. Eagle, I know you don't watch Beyond the Gates, and trust me, I wouldn't recommend that to you. But that's what they're doing with a character named Haley. See, we thought for a hot minute that Haley was in love with Bill, that she was just being stupid and blind and everything like that. And it turned out from day one that Haley has been sitting there playing Bill, that she has been a gold digger, and now she's sitting there trying to kill him to sit there and get money from like his life insurance policy. So if Y&R did something like that and they make Sienna a scam artist, a gold digger, whatever, that would be one hell of a plot. Then the whole cliche, oh, I'm in love with Noah and this, that, and the third, that would be hella interesting. Because then everybody's suspicious and of Sienna and them not liking him beyond the age gap. And Pan says, when do you normally stream? When do you normally live stream? I normally live stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for everyone. Saturdays and Sundays is members only. Monday and Tuesday I don't. So pretty much I'll be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So definitely come through. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is definitely when I stream. And I'm actually glad you're here, Panhandle. So thank you for coming through tonight. He says Victor Newman and Wine is like Thanos on the show, bro. Personally think the actor that plays Victor is the one that writes these scripts. It's funny, Eagle. I would definitely sit there and say that he influences the scripts, right? Okay, Pan, thank you. Yeah, I'll be here at 8 o'clock. So that's the time that I stream is 8 o'clock. So yeah, eight tomorrow, 8 the next day, and 8 the next day after that. They had that old 85-year-old man punch Mitch, sucker punched him. It's He definitely does influence the ego because Victor always wins, right? Victor is always winning, no matter what opponent that comes his way. He's always winning. He's always on top. He's always 3 steps ahead. It's just, I mean, it gets pretty old. But ego. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's more kind of an ego trip for Eric Braeden, and I hate saying that because I'm not trying to come after the actor, but like, Ron says, "How will Finn feel if Deke leaves his mom to go after Taylor? Do you think that he is going to change his tone?" Probably in the best way, maybe. I don't know why he would in the worst way. Are they phasing Jason now? He's so uninvolved with the storyline right now. Listen, Jason, I'd be cool if they take Jason off the show. Jason best stuff was like in the 90s, early 2000s. He can go now. There's your journey. At least Carly has some losing streaks on GH. I owe her my apologies. Jason Tours, he is fine. I don't see how he's scary. He got attacked by Victor's old ass. Well, to be fair, he had like 2 other people there though. He had 2 other people holding though. Jay Fan says he's on a year contract to someone's up. And that should here's the thing, Jay Fan. When I sit there and say that, I'm like, I like Jason. Don't get me wrong, I like Jason, I like Sonny, but I think their time has come and gone. Right? I feel like GH needs some fresh fucking blood. And that's just in general. Getting gut punched by an 80-year-old man, lose instincts, lost instant respect for that villain. I mean, how? Johnson says, imagine if Spencer came back, new and improved, and became the successor to Sonny's organization. uh, Thank you, Jonathan. I needed that laugh. That was good. Thank you. Shout out to Jonathan for that. And if he was that I was ages, we're all going to be that all one. Yeah, if we're lucky, Eagle, to be honest. But listen, Jonathan, I love your enthusiasm. You know why I gave you that look. He knows why I gave him that look, but I guess you don't see it. I don't see it happening. I mean, I don't see that happening for just a number of different reasons. But here's the thing, though, Jonathan. I respect your creativity and your imagination. I think that's what soap operas are about. So I will say that. But yes, Eagle, if we're lucky, we have hard time going to the restaurant at that age. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. If there was so much, he'll be another man that has a work crush on him over his. He has another man that has a work crush over him over his whole. I'm not gonna lie, Eagle. Lauren Fenmore is actually pretty hot. Okay, Lauren Fenmore can get it. Like the man takes Victor over his hot wife. If you're gonna be honest, I will sit there and say that she is. Listen, women like that don't come. Women that look like that don't come around too often. So like you gotta sit there and shout them out when they do. Joshua says, "Well, Drew used to be a nice person, and no one ever thought he would be a scumbag." That's true, Jonathan. But the thing is, the do you want me to sit there and say, Jonathan, or do you want me to just let you just kind of rock? Because I can say it if I want, if you want me to. But I can also sit there and choose to fall back. So you let me know. Let me know. I'm gonna give you the dealer's choice, Jonathan. Because with Drew, it made sense, and this is more about the actor, right? Cameron Madison has always played a good guy. So, like Drew being a good guy, Cameron Madison always playing a good guy. They wanted to sit there and make something a little bit different. They wanted him to sit there and not play his usual saint guy like he does in all his like thousand Hallmark channels. But Spencer changing his ways. First of all, let me tell you something. As much as Spencer has been a fucking prick, Spencer sitting there changing his ways just wouldn't work. And him sitting there working for Sonny, that would just be so out the blue, right? Like Spencer is a prince. He's whatever. Jonathan, I know where you're going with this story, and I'm not knocking it, right? But and I know where you're ultimately going with this story, and it just wouldn't really make sense for him to sit there and be a prince one minute and come back and be like, oh, I'm gonna sit there and try this whole underworld mobster thing. I'm just gonna try it out just for funsies. It just it. I don't know if it would make sense to his character not working for Sonny. I mean, yeah, exactly. Not working for Sonny, taking over the business, being a mobster. I see it. It is cool too. Okay, all right. So Cherry endorses that. Okay. I just, like I said, him coming back and being a mobster. Have a night, GH fam. Thank you for joining. I'll be on tomorrow, so maybe I'll see you tomorrow if you come through. You know what that. Why does everyone think Isaiah is a good person? A good person doesn't sleep with someone else's wife. No, they don't. But I don't know who people think. I don't know anyone that thinks that Isaiah is a good person. I think that they may think he's a better person than Curtis. A good person. Mm. But Darby, let's be honest though. What did you? Okay, I almost okay. You said something that didn't really make a lot of sense, and I might have been drinking before, so I just didn't sit there and check you on that. And see, that's my whole thing. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad you said it. Jonathan, I'm gonna let you rock, Jonathan. I'm gonna let you rock. I'm gonna let you rock. Um, I do have some issues with that, but I respect your creativity. I'm gonna let him rock, Jerry. I'm gonna let him rock. You said that Xander firing Brady was a good move. It was a good move because it was trimming the fat. You said that Brady Black. You said that Black. You said that his business, Basic Black, was losing money. But they never sat there and said that Basic Black was losing money. I feel like you only think that. I feel like that you feel that Xander firing Brady was a good idea because you don't like Brady. It had nothing to do with business. This was totally personal. This was him being a jealous jackass and making emotional decisions in a business situation. And you endorsed that, but you endorsed that because you didn't like Brady, not because, Basic Black was in the hole and he was trimming the fat or anything like that. Because they never once sat there and said that Basic Black was actually doing bad. You just cheered for it and championed for it because you didn't like Brady. That's what I was saying. Um, and here's the thing, Jonathan. I'm not just saying that characters can't change and stuff like that. But and that's the thing though. Here's the thing: Spencer being an asshole. That was kind of his appeal to most people. As As messed up as that was, Brady being I've been wondering if Isaiah is related to RJ Gannon from Like Lab was hella sketchy. That's the thing, Danny B. We've been wanting that. I think most people have been wanting that connection, right? Because honestly, tell you the truth, his name is Gannon, that person's name is Gannon. Like, it just would make sense and it'd be cool to sit there and kind of bridge those gaps. He's never at work. I say it would look like he did it because he was jealous of others, but business wise, it would be a good move. But how would it be a good move, though? It's called working from remote. You're right, Jonathan. Actually, haven't. He's never at work. I said it would look like he did it because he was jealous to others. But business wise, it would be a good move. But how would it be a good move, though? No, I'm actually curious on that. Like, how would it be a good move? Danny Bear, should he bring the braids or should he actually just go? He should just get a regular haircut. Getting regular unprofitable business that doesn't make. But again, Darby, okay, now you say getting rid of unprofitable business that doesn't make money. But who said that basic black doesn't make money? When did they ever? That's what I was going to say, Darby. Like, when did they ever sit there and say that basic black wasn't making money? I'm not trying to be a dick, Darby. I'm not. But I'm going to be honest. Here's my whole thing. When I do these streams and somebody says something, there's a good chance I may sit there and challenge them on that. Okay? My streams are a little bit different because some people just whatever zone out and just let them vent for the most part. If I find something to be a little bit too ridiculous, I'm gonna sit there and quote. I'm gonna sit there and challenge you on it. Okay. So when did basic black become unprofitable? Who said that? When did it say that? Oh damn it! There's no way, Darby. See now I'm being kind of a dick. Maybe says I have a fat thumbs. I have fat thumbs, Albert. Brady is never at work. He said that he didn't have his mind on his business lately. That's why he returned to Titan. Have fat thumbs. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's oh, Darby, Darby, Darby. Look like his dreads are going. So what is so did the magic then? I typed. Okay, all right, Darby. I'm just not gonna lie, we're kind of being the dick. I just want to hear your response. Went down because Nicole isn't there anymore. She's more the businesswoman than Brady is. All I'm sitting there saying is that I felt like Darby was sitting there saying that like Basic Black needed to be cut because it wasn't profitable. But I'm like, they never said that Basic Black wasn't profitable. And again, Darby Smith is saying that well Brady doesn't show up to work. Okay, just because he doesn't show up to work doesn't mean that he's not working from home. Now, as far as like him Smith is saying that his mind isn't really there. Okay, that's true. What does Albert look like with Jamaican dreads? I don't have a picture of dreads, but I have a picture of box braids, which are like dreads except for them they're not as messy. I have to find it. But no, I never had dreads. I had box braids. I had box braids and I had cornrows. Okay? I had cornrows. I looked like like never mind. I'm not gonna sit there and say it. And that says Charlotte's a real teen is a real teenager. Can't keep her. Yeah, she can't keep her goddamn mouth shut. I like this slimy drum. Yeah, and that's the thing, Cherry. Like, this is exactly why they had to change his character. Listen, I don't watch the Hallmark movies, but like I heard, he always plays the good guy, the the do-gooder. I want to see Al do something like that on my computer. Do what on the computer? Sure, has not learned very much from Valentine. Yeah, she's like, hey, Danny, I saw my dad today. Hey, Rocco, I saw my dad. He's at Carly's place. Carly let me sit. Then you sat there and you literally fucking point out, um, throw Carly on the fucking bus. Oh, get your dress. Oh, no. That is way too much work and way too much money to sit there and kind of maintain that stuff. Like I said, I didn't have dreads. I had box braids. I had box braids and I had cornrows. And I feel like I'm like itching to say something, but I'm like I'm not gonna say it. Even though I could just sit there and say that I've been drinking and then whatever I sit there and say I'm not responsible for. Which is true, I'm not responsible for it, but no. Hallmark movies are boring. Here's the thing, Allison. I've never watched them, so I can't sit there and like confirm that. I just they're not my cup of tea. Yeah. Listen, if they're gonna here's the thing, if they're gonna sit there and drop something like, okay, Nathan is a bad person and he's into some bad stuff or whatever, they need to do that shit soon. They really need to sit there and drop the whole Nathan is like he's Peter or some shit like that. Because they've been putting that story on the back burner for a hot fucking minute. Yeah, exactly, Allison. Different folks for different strokes for different folks, right? And that's what Danny will tell. Um, I'm just like Charlotte, and that's the thing. People sat there and they gave Scout shit. They gave Scout hell for telling Willow about seeing Danny. So Will pretty much took Peter's job. Well, as far as being cringy, Justice says they're hinting that Nathan and Lulu might. Oh, well, yeah, and that's the thing, Doctor. Like we saw, I think we saw it like a couple weeks ago when they had the whole fireworks. Like we know that that may happen, but I also heard that Maxie may come back, and I mean Lulu ain't with nobody. Lulu, listen, Lulu and Dante, that ship has sailed for now. Exactly, Allison. Do you forget local the current? Sure. When is Dante going to reveal the film and the mansion when Willow sneak? I don't. But that's the thing. I don't think there was fit. I don't think there wasn't footage because Michael was like, Willow has been in this house so long, she knows how to sit there and sneak around a house undetected. So there is no footage because if there was footage, Michael would have found it, and Michael would have sat there and outed Willow. Sasha would have theoretically came back. So yeah, Jonathan. I think for fan service, she's gonna go back to Nathan. Um, I think that her. Here's my thing, Jonathan. I feel like with the hobby situation, she built a life with Spinelli. She's made things work with Spinelli romantically and stuff like that. And you're gonna sit there and take all that progress, dump it away to sit there and be with Nathan. Just like Leo, all that progress, all that work, all that time, all that effort to sit there and dump it and say, fuck it, I'm going to be with Dimitri. Well, yeah, no, they're technically still married. Yes, they're technically still married. They just ruining a good couples. And that's nothing their ego. Spikewick says, "Would you? So would it be shock you if they did?" No, I'm not going to be shocked either. Not at all. No. Spikewick says, "I'm back. It's cool to see you still on to live in 30 minutes." I know. And you know the thing is, Spikewick, I was actually planning on ending the live stream like maybe like 30 minutes ago. But then like people showed up, Eagle showed up. Um, so I would love to stay up for 3 hours, but I was like, because if here's the thing, if I oversleep and I wake up late, then that's just gonna be much longer to sit there. It's gonna be much harder to sit there and do a live stream tomorrow. Much harder to do a live stream tomorrow. Like that's the thing. Like I wake up late, I get out of bed, I get my breakfast late, and then I start watching the shows late. It's like everything is dragging, and then I'm doing a general hospital review. No, Allison, I'm off tomorrow. That's why I decided to do a live stream tonight. I'm off tomorrow. I did too. Hmm, I did too. I forgot what channel I got it from, but I heard the same thing too. Danny Bear says Lulu better keep her hands off of Nathan. That's Max's husband. Nelly wanted Eli so he can go find her. Danny Bear is a character. I love it. Shout out to Danny Bear. I love it. Um, let's say January, February, March. Probably the end of March. Probably the end of March. Allison says, do you watch soaps live?" No, I don't. It's some people do that, but it's hard for me to sit there and concentrate on the show and then concentrate on like talking to people and stuff. So I'm like, I usually just that's why I do the reviews and I do the live streams. Johnson says, "Would Maxie be? Who would Spinelli be with of Max if Maxie dumped him? Nobody. Nobody. Spinelli wouldn't be with a damn. I could not see Spinelli being with anybody on that show. What do you see her being with? It takes it takes too long with commercials. Oh, do you watch Soap Live? Yes, I do. I do. I do, Allison. I'm sorry, I read it wrong. I do watch them live. I used to not like watching them live because I DVR stuff. But if I'm home, I'm gonna watch it live because um, it's just easier to watch it live and be done by 4 o'clock. Everything from like Days comes on early, and then for me, yeah, exactly, Cherry. And then for me is YNR 12:30 to 1:30, All the Beautiful from 1:30 to 2 o'clock, Beyond the Gates from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and General Hospital from 3 to 4. So as much as I don't like the commercials, Allison, I'm also, and that's another thing, I'm also working on other stuff. Like I'm working on shorts. I'm working on setting up stream. I'm working on setting up stuff for the member stream. So the commercials actually work in my favor. Like what says, I forgot to mention, you ain't a Leslie fan, but her and Marcel yesterday were pretty funny. To me, that woman is crazy. I'm glad when anyone actually gets a kick out of Leslie. I like dead ass serious. Johnson says maybe he can be with Amy Driscoll. I mean, yeah, she's a nightmare. But let's be honest, Jonathan, they both talk like there's no tomorrow. But, in all reality, they would have, theoretically, yes, Jonathan. For theory's sake, yes. Realistically, no. But theory-wise, yes. Yeah, that would make more sense. That would actually make more sense quite quick. Yes, I agree with that. I've been watching GH Live since I'm home, but when I go back to work, I'll just watch YouTube clips again. I mean, YouTube technically has like the whole episode. I mean, it's the fucked up version, but you do have the whole episode. Um, Upper Deck says we know that Cole was from Scout. We do. I remember that. But yeah, Jonathan, for theory's sake, yes. I just, like from a realistic standpoint, they haven't used Amy Driscoll in a long time. I think it's been almost up to like damn near a year before I saw Amy Driscoll on the show. So like Spider-Quake, yes, they would probably end up with Ellie off screen or whatever. Allison says no, but some good people post good. Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. All right. Yeah, Allison, usually like if I'm on a bus and I'm on my way home, I will sit there and watch it. Because, my bus trip is kind of a while and I can just watch the rest of it when I get home. JMS does most things. Who's JMS? I just, like I said, they both talk a lot. They both just no 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 no. They both talk a lot, right? There's a word for that. I can't remember. I can't remember what that is. Babble, I guess, or most likely the person I get the clips from. Okay. Um, I think honestly, tell you the truth, I think that Spinelli. I think that the Spinelli character probably would just go. You know, because he was there for specific reasons. Like he was there to sit there and help Maxie out on the run. He liked Maxie. He wanted to get back together with Maxie, so that was a thing. But the minute that Nathan comes back, or Nathan gets back with her, there ain't no point of him. Spinelli isn't working for the Corinthos organization. Okay, he's not that like yeah, he'll sit there and talk to Jason from time to time, but like we don't need him. Jason mostly gonna be spending his time with Britt, so like what is Spinelli even like it's like what is his worth? What is he bringing to the table? And I understand that some characters are just speaking of characters that have just become fucking worthless. Oh, Spider Quick, let me know if you're still in the chat. Oh, okay. I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about Allison. Okay. Speaking of characters that are just like pointless, fucking Liz. Spider Quick, let me know if you're still in the chat. Is Liz. Liz has just been reduced to fucking nothing at this point. And I'm just like, why is she even still on the show? Like, why is this chick even on the show? I don't understand that. Yes, that's my whole thing. Oh, okay, so Danny Bear knows about it. Okay, but like, this is why when I sit there and say some characters need to go, I'm not saying that just to be a dick or to be malice or anything like that. I'm not sitting there doing it to rage bait people. I just feel like their value and their time on the show has come to a fucking end. Liz needs to go. Laura definitely, well, her as Ben needs to leave. Sunny needs to leave. Chase needs to leave. Carly needs to leave. They need to get some fresh fucking blood up in there. Okay? I don't care if it's a connection to the old people. No. All they're doing at this point is dragging down the fucking show. Felicia needs to go. She doesn't serve a fucking purpose anymore. I don't care if she's a legacy character. Legacy characters don't mean shit in my fucking eyes. If you ain't doing anything that's improving the show, that's making the show fun to watch, a legacy character is just a fucking title. So give Trina something to do other than her being an annoying little whiny brat. Flesh out the Kai character. Like, what are you doing? You almost feel like they are trying to self-sabotage. Like Quick says, I don't hate on Liz. Now, like, I like her. She did nothing wrong. Also, randomly, Kyrie started being a big fat Liz fan. If he... Yeah, I remember that. Oh, well, Spider Break, I was just going to sit there and apologize to you for not having your back all those times you were sitting there calling out Trina. Because I was too busy sitting there trying to appease people. But I should have had your back on that. So I apologize for that. You said that, listen, she was being useless, and she was. My ability to be all like people pleaser, now I just don't give a shit. But yeah, maybe this show has run its course and it's time to end. Well, yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at Abadoc. I think that some of the characters definitely ran their goddamn course and they need to be on. And said the show may could use some fresh writers. Who cares? Yeah, some fresh writers, some fresh characters. I just don't think that they shouldn't go the One Like to Live route, because One Like to Live like got some fresh faces on there, some fresh characters, and some of those characters was fucking cringe as fuck. Not all of them, but some of them. Exactly, G. Exactly, Allison. I don't think the show needs to end. I just think what? I just think that like they need to get some fresh blood in there. You know, it was like we don't need to go that far, bro. Like, let's not fucking lose our shit. Very quick says at the end of the day, you saw the light, and the light is Trina being a trash character. Ever since Tabi took over, she was only relevant. Yes, exactly. Yes, when Asmi was on, when Spencer was on. No, but this is more towards you because I should have had your back, Spider. I should have had your back, consistent to telling you to be easy on Trina, to not say anything about Trina because you're hurting people's feelings. Like I shouldn't have sat there and tried to silence you on that. That's true, Doc. That's true. Michael says Sydney Trina would never forget about her forever dad that Trina loved. Taggart. This Trina forgot all about it. That's true. That's true. That's harsh, but that's true, Spider. Yes. Exactly. I was like, let's not go crazy, okay? We don't need to cancel the show. We just need to sit there and spruce it up. Spruce it up a little bit. Mm. All right. I should really get something else to eat other than these fucking noodles, which I love, but I need to get some actual food in me. Some other food in me, not just snacks. So I'm gonna end this room here. I'll be back tomorrow. Um, usual time. We'll sit there and cook. And whoever feels gets hurt when I sit there and say whatever I say about these fictional characters, I don't give a shit. I'm not kidding. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna sit there and say what I want. But I do want to thank y'all for joining me tonight, though. Sure. No troll question. Do you think we see Tiger? I would love that Spider Quake. I don't see that happening. I don't think that they care enough about Taggart or the actor to really sit there and kind of like no. Thank you, Pan. Yes, thank you, Pan. Thank you, Pan, for coming through. I appreciate you coming through tonight. Seriously, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Oh, you want Avery to be you want Avery to be a mob boss. Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Soul Chat with Dr. Bostic. Thank you, Jonathan. Try to remember that insider joke. I'm asking people too. Well, I'm asking members. Have a good night, Allison. Have a good night, Spiderquake. Have a good night, Ronnie Ron. Johnson says, can everyone hit the like button? Yes, hit that like button because it really does actually help. Have a good night, Danny Bear. Have a good night, Rantin Ricardo. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, R Reviews. Last thing, how do you feel about Dimitri and Gwen? Here's the I can't knock Gwen for coming at Dimitri, for lying to her, for breaking her heart and everything. Dimitri's like, I'm gonna put you in jail, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, yeah, Dimitri, good luck with proof. Um I don't knock her with her revenge towards Dimitri or Leo. I think Leo was an idiot for sitting there inviting her to the wedding. I think Javi was also. You don't sit there and talk to somebody like that, and then the way she was talking, it was like, yeah, she didn't forgive you. Her tone of voice, the look in her face, she did not forgive you for that. Why the hell are you sitting there trying to like invite her to the wedding? I was, oh, cool, thank you, Alice. I got 44 people. Okay, that's what's up. He acts like he'll be in control, but he keeps acting disrespectful. She might. That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. It's like what Drew said. Drew's like, Stella, you can't sit there. Charges can't be refiled against you. It was like you might be having a senior moment, but charges can be refiled against you. That's actually very true. Gwen was like, Gwen could sit there and just re-kidnap your ass. Like, yeah, I'll let you out. You're more than welcome to sit there and go right back to that damn prison. You're correct, Spider. All right, everyone, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you share the video, share the shorts, because those have been really fun to do. So definitely share them. And if you did not check out the one I put out tonight, definitely check it out. And have a good night, LaShawn. Have a good night, Allison, Danny Bear. Subscribe to Danny Bear. Subscribe to Ranting. Have a good night, Spiderquake. And anyone who I miss, you know who you are. See you in the next one.